few house rules, and also welcome to the EWJ series, webinar series. So to introducing our speaker for today, we have Dr. Marva, who is an assistant professor of linguistics at the Higher Institute of Applied Languages and Computer Sciences of Beja. She holds a PhD in linguistics from the Higher Institute of Languages of Tunis. She's also been in the teaching domain since January 2013, and she has taught EFL, ESP, and many more courses, all throughout Tunisia, Turkey, and Saudi Arabia. She is also a Cambridge English certified teacher trainer. She's a board of directors member of Tunisia and a member of this research lab, Langue et Formes Culturelles. Her special interests are experimental psycholinguistics, English language learning and instruction, and educational psychology. So, Dr. Marva, you may start, and please keep your questions till the end of the session.
All right, thank you. Thank you, Ms. Maria, for the invitation first, and thank you, Manal, for the introduction. So the session today is entitled Mixed Methods Research Between Fantasy and Reality. But I'd like to begin with a quick introduction to mixed method through story of a basketball player, Shane Battier. So Shane Battier is an American basketball player, a famous one. According to statistics, when he was a seventh grader, he was the first best in nation. When he graduated from high school, he was again the best in nation in terms of basketball. And when he graduated from college, he was his record included 131 wins. So people trying to understand the success of Shane Battier, they looked at statistics. So they saw that he scored few points, snagged few rebounds, stole few balls, dished out few assists. So according to statistics, this basketball player is not a genius one, yet his teams managed to win. So they started to dig deeper into the profile of Shane Battier, and they started observing what he was doing in the playground. They found out that he blocked opponents' vision with hand, watched whether player drove left or right, and he always talked to teammates, probably to encourage them. So here, critics or sports critics looked at Shane Battier from different perspectives. A numerical perspective through data, statistics, and qualitative perspective. They observed what he was doing in the playground. This will lead us to what we called mixed methods research. Here, we're mixing two types of data or two methodologies, say the quantitative and the qualitative methodology. So in this session, we will see what mixed methods research is and what is not, because this is problematic, what is not. Then we will see why to implement mixed methods research, how to implement it, different types of mixed methods research, challenges to its application, and we'll summarize through answering the question, a reality or a fantasy. Actually, if we look at Crosswell and Planet Clark 2018 book on mixed methods research, we will see that they called mixed methods research, or they found out three appellations of mixed methods research in the literature. We'll begin with Dashakuri Tadley 2003, where they name it as a third methodological movement. Then we have, it is called also by Johnson and on Wuxubi, we see the third research paradigm, and by Mary 2007 as the new star in the social science sky. Because before the birth of mixed methods research, we have two paradigms in the literature. We have the quantitative paradigm and the qualitative paradigm. Each one of them has been derived from a different philosophy, whether we have believe in a kind of research as positivist or as interpretive. So we have different views, different philosophical views of the world. Then we have mixed method research, a new paradigm, or let's say a third paradigm, a new thing, especially in social science. That's why we could see that mixed methods research is highly applicable in educational research and in health also research. Till now, we haven't defined mixed method research. We just talked about the different populations and how we came to this stage. Now, I will continue with the slides and you will see what could mixed method design be. Mixed methods is an intuitive way of doing research that is constantly being displayed throughout everyday life. That's why I started with the example of the basketball player. It's something that we could do in real life without realizing that we're doing mixed methods research. Green in 2007 also called out multiple ways of seeing and hearing, because the first example that I evoked here was an example taken from Crosswell, a YouTube video where he kind of lecture series where he was explaining what mixed methods research is. And when he talked about that example of the famous basketball player, he talked about data or stats and he talked about stories. So here we're seeing two different perspectives, the data and the stories that data could overlook. Here comes the kind of pretty much the most plausible definition of mixed methods research. Mixed methods research is the type of research in which a researcher or a team of researchers combines elements of qualitative and quantitative research approaches. So here we're having both point of view of quantitative and qualitative research. We have data collection, analysis, inference techniques. But here, for which purpose? For the purposes of breadth and depth of an understanding and corroboration. So the main aim behind the rise of mixed methods research is that we overlook the limitations of qualitative research and the limitations of quantitative research. Actually, we know that in quantitative research, normally we have participants have, let's say, are not saying that much. Normally we have the researcher's perspective is more apparent there. We have only data summarized in form of numbers. We don't hear the participants that much. These are some of the limitations of quantitative research. On the other hand, for qualitative research, indeed, we could see the perspectives or the words of the participants. We could hear them more than we are able to hear them with numbers, but the data that we get from qualitative research is hardly generalizable, and normally we cannot collect data from a huge number of participants. So we have limited number of participants. So mixed methods research aims at kind of trying to fix the problems with qualitative and quantitative data by combining them. So like this, we have the benefits of both methods in one research. Now, this takes me to if I need to have both qualitative and quantitative research, and I would like to overcome the limitations, for which sake? It's not just like for the simple kind of obsession that we need to incorporate two types of methods or two types of data, we should have a reason, a sound reason to mix both methods, because as I said right from the beginning, that both methods came from different philosophical schools and from different views of this world. Basically, the main thing that should guide us to choose either quantitative, qualitative, or mixed methods research is our research problem or our research question. We need to see whether that research question that we started with right from the beginning needs to be solved through mixed method research. If it does not need, we should not use mixed methods research just for the sake of using it. I mentioned here when I defined what is mixed method research, that some of the the benefits is here we're trying to override the limits of both quantitative only or qualitative only research. And this is the main argument right from the beginning. We would like to overcome that kind of limitation. Again, as I said earlier in the problems that dictate the use of mixed methods research, that here our research question should guide the type of research methodology that we're following. So normally we use it when we have problems or questions that cannot be answered only by quantitative research or only by qualitative research. The last advantage here, the mix here trying to just like reaching the aha factor. You know, when we have sometimes data, numerical data, like we understand we have an answer to our question, but still there are some hazy points that we cannot get an answer to because we don't know the other side of the story, probably the qualitative side of it. So here, the mixed method research helps us overcome, kind of reach, now we understood the story because we're having both the numerical data and the points of view of the participants. I'm saying that we should combine mixed method, we should combine qualitative and quantitative research. So if I just like have a study where I have questionnaire and an interview, am I just like I'm analyzing the questionnaire alone and analyzing the interview alone? Could I consider this mixed methods design? You could write on the chat box yes or no. Okay, yes. I'll repeat the question. So let's say we're having quantitative, we said that we're combining quantitative and qualitative research. So I am conducting study, let's say, about the effect of technology on language learning. And I conducted a questionnaire and I conducted an interview. Later, I just analyzed both. That's it. We have yes, yes, possible. Yes. Okay. So I'd like to deceive you. Not I'd like to deceive you, but I'll be deceiving you. And I say, no, it's not just about the fact of I have a question and have an interview. There was a missing information in my previously stated scenario. Because here, when I said I have data from the questionnaire and data from the interview, but I did not tell you later how did I analyze them, or did I combine the results? Did I compare the results? what did I do? If I stop there, just like I'm using data from the questionnaire and I'm using data from the interview, I'm analyzing them separately, I'm sorry, this is not mixed methods research. So how do I conduct this mixed methods research? First of all, I need to collect and analyze both quantitative and qualitative data rigorously. In response here to research questions and hypotheses. Again, here I am emphasizing the idea that we have a research question or hypotheses that dictate the use of mixed method, the use of both types of data. So I am collecting and analyzing these data, but what makes mixed method research different than multi-method research is that the fact of integrating, mixing or combining quantitative and qualitative data. So it's not only about I have in a research, a survey, or let's say a questionnaire here, an interview. It's not enough. If I don't combine the results of both, it's not mixed method, it's multi-method research. The third step here, we're organizing the procedures in specific research design. And I will explain this when I will be talking about the types of mixed methods research. Then at the end, so here we have data from quantitative, let's say, tool, data from qualitative tool. I combine them, but here I frame everything. I suddenly muted myself. So I frame everything under specific theories or philosophies. Again, I said we're organizing these procedures into specific research design. This will take us to the main three types of mixed methods research. In mixed methods research, we have convergent design, explanatory sequential design, exploratory sequential design. I'll be talking about each one alone. So here, we're beginning with the convergent design. I will recall the example that I mentioned. Here we're conducting study about the effect of some educational technology in English language learning. Here I'm collecting data quantitatively and I'm collecting data qualitatively. So here I collected data through, let's say, questionnaire, and I'm collecting data through observations or interviews. I'll do this simultaneously, independently. Then later, I analyze the results of the questionnaire. I analyze the results of the interview or the observations. Then I combine the results. So I'll see where they converge or where they diverge. And I try to explain this. So here, quantitative and qualitative results are compared. I'll in a nutshell, I'll summarize what I said. So we're having quantitative data collected independently of the qualitative data. Then we have qualitative data also collected independently. As if I have, let's say here, the two instruments separated from each other, then I analyze them. At the level of interpretation, I combine these results. An example of this is just like, so the example of trying to discover the role of educational technology in language learning in classroom. I could have, let's say, questionnaires for teachers and students, and I could have classroom observations. Here you will, in Crosswell and Plano Clark book, they referred us to the study of food safety knowledge, practices and beliefs in Hispanic families with young children by Sangarita, Guda, Perry, and Albert in 2014. So you could go back to the study to understand conversion design in detail. The second example is what we call it explanatory sequential design. So here the key term is sequential. So one after the other. Here it is explanatory, and here we begin with quantitative data collection. Let's say a questionnaire. We have our own data analysis. We write up the results. Then while looking at our results, we could say it's not enough. We cannot answer our research question fully with these, with this data. So we decide to go to another step, which is qualitative data collection, let's say step, and probably an interview. And later on, we develop the interview to try to understand the things that we did not understand through numbers. Now, I'll re-explain it with an example. One of my MA students conducted a study about code switching among Tunisian immigrants in France when they come back to Tunisia, whether they do a code switch or not. So we began with a questionnaire. She, let's say, collected the data, analyzed it. Then when we looked at the data, there was some answers that looked contradictory, some that looked kind of missing something. So we decided to go a step further, and we conducted interviews to understand the results of these questionnaires. So this is one of the examples. You could go also, as I said, in Crosswell and Plano blog book. They mentioned the study of fear of falling for community dwelling elderly people in 2012, where you could see what explanatory sequential design is. The last basic mixed method design is what we call it exploratory. And just like I would like to go back to this, that's why we call it explanatory, because here we got the quantitative data, but we need explanations. So we like to supplement it with qualitative data in order to see the full picture. Now, in exploratory sequential design, we do the opposite. Just like we're having the, let's say, we're having the qualitative data, we analyze it, then from that qualitative data, we formulate a questionnaire. And as an example, I would refer to a second one of my MA students. She's investigating, again, code switching, but here code switching and taboos among millennials and Generation Z in Tunisia. At the very beginning, when we talked, just like we're trying to answer the question, what kind of taboos that millennials think that they're taboos and generations they think that they're taboos, and whether they code switch and which language, we reach the stage that probably what is a taboo for me is not a taboo for the other. So we need to understand what taboo is at the very beginning in order to formulate questions for our questionnaire. So she conducted interviews with people from both generations, exploring what taboos are, what they mean, whether they're kind of changing by language or not. So this student later, like she's doing the research now, and she will be, she formulated, as I said, later on, a questionnaire to understand the idea. Here, we could refer also to the study of graduate engineering students in 2013 to understand this type of design. Now, these are three basic designs. We have an advanced one where we begin with, let's say, we have either conversion, explanatory, or exploratory sequential design, but it is embedded under an experiment or a case study. Also, I'd like to refer to one of my students, let's say, studies where she's trying to say game-based learning and its effect on vocabulary acquisition and motivation. So here she has an experiment with, let's say, pre-test, then a kind of a teaching or treatment, then post-test. So this is the entire thing. But she's also using questionnaires and observations to collect her data. You could go to Brooklyn 2016 study to understand more of what advanced mixed methods design, but I said it's one of these basic designs embedded under a bigger design, let's say experiment or a case study. At this stage, normally, we should understand that mixed methods design is above just using quantitative and qualitative data alone. It's about the combination. It's about the integration of both. And we've seen that clear in the three main designs and in the advanced one, that there should be a reason why to move from one type of method to the other. We should have a main reason that motivates us. That main reason is our research question or hypothesis. Now, actually, this story is not as rosy as it seems. We will be facing some challenges in using mixed method design. The first challenge could be rigor and skills. So here we're talking about problems aligned with the design. The researcher or the researchers conducting mixed methods design should be knowledgeable of quantitative design and qualitative design. So they should master how these types of designs should be implemented. So we cannot just say, because we're using mixed method design and we have a qualitative and quantitative, I am good in quantitative research, I will do my best there. But for qualitative research, it's okay. I'm combining both. Rigor is important. So it's still research at the end of the day. Still, we're building scientific knowledge. So both designs should be mastered well. We need to learn the skills of quantitative that allow us to conduct quantitative and qualitative research. The second challenge is the
Dr.
time.
Marva?
Yes.
So we're almost nearing the end of your session, so I'll just give you a few minutes to wrap up.
Yes, actually, I'm about to finish. The second point is time. Actually, it requires time because here we're conducting two types of research. Sampling is an issue because ideally we should have the same number of participants in quantitative, qualitative, the same participants, but we know that this cannot happen in everyday research. So sampling could be an issue. Again, mixing what is and what is not is a challenge. So we need to be sure that we need both and we know how to combine the things. This will take me to the summary. So of today's session, we talked about what mixed methods research is. We're collecting and analyzing quantitative and qualitative research in response to research questions. We need to use rigorous methods. Combining or integrating data is important, and we need to frame it within a broader framework. To wrap up, okay, actually, why I said mixed methods research between fantasy and reality, because here my objective is to explain what is and what's not. We shouldn't be obsessed with the idea of just like following this trend of mixed methods, and everyone, especially young researchers. I'm doing a mixed methods research. However, their research has nothing to do with mixed methods. The other thing, triangulation, just like for the sake of triangulation, we could do triangulation with different ways. For example, multi-methods using different quantitative or different qualitative could do the job for triangulation. So the first let's say the first and the third here criterion are essential in developing mixed method research. Here are the list of references, and I would like to end this presentation with acknowledging again my students that I took them as reference, as examples, or their theses as examples, who are Vikra Alweti for the migration and code switching, then Rudaina for about the my code switching and taboos, and lately Sulaima for the game-based learning and motivation vocabulary acquisition. I'd like to thank you for also for allowing me to talk about mixed methods research between fantasy and reality. Thank you. And the audience, obviously, for listening. I'm looking forward to your questions or to your feedback.
Thank you, Dr.
If
Marwa.
anyone has any questions, they can put those questions in the chat, or they can turn on their mics and ask. You have 2 minutes.
Dr. Marwa is happy to answer any questions, anything you wish to know more.
Okay, I'll begin. Actually, there is a question here from HP saying, what about having open-ended questions? When we have open-ended here, the ones I mentioned in this presentation, where I had the word open-ended showed up, here I'm talking about interviews. But if you're referring to questionnaire where we're having, let's say, closed-ended question and open-ended question, sometimes we do this for the sake of triangulation, but here we're not referring to the same thing from different perspectives. Sometimes it is then just an additional question, so it's not really mixed method. It could be called multi-method design, but it's in the matter of how to analyze the data and whether this open-ended question is indeed a kind of another a kind of a mirror version of that quantitative. So it depends on the analysis later. If you're writing an MA or a PhD and you're using mixed method research, obviously in the methodology chapter and the research design, we should say that this study follows mixed method, let's say mixed methods design, and we should tell which type of that. Thank you. Thank you for the attention and thank you for the questions too.
I'm sorry. It's kind of difficult for me to type my question. Is it okay if I speak up?
I think it's okay.
Yes.
Yes, Beatrice.
Thank you.
Go ahead. Yes.
Thank you so much. I really loved your perspective regarding mixed methods research. Based on your own experience, regarding humanities and linguistics, what would you suggest? What are the best topics? What are the best ideas? What are your suggestions in how and when we should use this mixed methods research? Thank you.
Thank you. Actually, I will go back to the same idea that I began with, and this is the difference for what is and what is not mixed methods, is whether your question, your research question, or dictates or necessitates the use of both paradigms. Because again, as I told you, in one of my students' research, the one about Dhikra al-Wati's research about migration and code switching, we did not intend to have mixed methods right from the beginning. It was only questionnaire. Then the questionnaires did not give us the data or the results that we want, but that could answer that question fully. So we need, in order to understand the full picture, because the question has left us with more of questions rather than answers. So while analyzing that questionnaire, we need more answers in order to frame these results under the theoretical framework that we are talking about. So we needed interview. So this time, we did not think of mixed methods right from the beginning. In the other one of Rudaina, who's let's say research on code switching and taboos, because we need to understand people's perspective before developing that questionnaire, we need to understand from people what they mean, what their understanding of taboos and code switching before being able to develop the right questionnaire. In the third study, where we talk about game-based learning and vocabulary acquisition and motivation by Sulaiman Alaya, here the aim was mixed methods research. Why? Because it is an experiment and we need to understand people's perception about that experiment. So we need to combine these. If you think that your research question doesn't need the integration of both, you don't have to use mixed method research. If you think that questionnaire is enough, it should be quantitative. If you think, or if the field, let's say we're talking about ethnography, let's say of communication, you need only field work, you need only interviews, you don't have to quantify the data. I hope that I answered your question.
Absolutely. Thank you so much. I hope
Yeah.
I hope I can do a nice job based on what you have told me. I'm just beginning a new research, and I think this is very, very helpful to me. Thank you.
Yes, actually, I do recommend, and this is something I will end up with Miss Maria. Okay, sorry for taking much time. My recommendation is that you read Crosswell Plano Clark 2018 Design and Conducting Mixed Methods Research. It is indeed a helpful book, and most of the things that I mentioned in the lecture are taken from the book or, as I said, his lectures on YouTube.
Thanks, will do.
Thank you so much, Dr. Marwa. It was a pleasure to have you today, and the answers.
The pleasure is mine.
Yeah, we really appreciate that. When we request you to please kindly unshare your slides so we have the second presenter.
Okay.
And we hope to have you in our future sessions.
Thank you.
Jawahir, we kindly request you to share your slides, please.
Okay, so before starting, I would like to greet all of you. Thank you, Ms. Maria, and our moderator, Ms. Manal. And let's come to the point about my today's topic. And just.
We will request Ms. Manal to kindly introduce Ms. Jawahir before she starts the session. Thank you.
So today's speaker is Jawahir, who is an English language instructor, researcher, and PhD candidate who specializes AI integration in language education. With over a decade of teaching experience, she has published articles in Scopus and Google Scholar. Her work mainly focuses on digital innovation in ESL teaching and academic research. Jawahir, the floor is yours.
Okay, thank you very much. Thank you. And I also like to greet all of you. I'm delighted to be with you today from the vibrant capital of Azerbaijan, Baku, as a nation with a rich history of the scientific inquiry. So, and we in Azerbaijan understand the profound role that pioneering through thought plays in the global progress. Today, we stand at a new inflection point, the integration of artificial intelligence into a very fabric of the research. And today's topic about the enhancing research with AI and digital tools. So let's come to another point. Okay, in today's agenda, I would like to talk about the enhancing research with AI, digital tools. And next is about the hands-on demonstration, ethical responsible use, collaborative research, and conclusion in QA open discussion. So yes, it was given the brief information about me, but I would like to say that I'm English language instructor, researcher, and at the same time PhD candidate from Azerbaijan. So, and I would like to start my presentation with the philosophies of the great time, Socrates, and he said just the wonder is the beginning of the wisdom. And right now, in any presentation, I try to reflect this kind of the thought. And it's really very interesting to me to know your opinion before you starting any research work or any academic work. Do you think this kind of the idea plays any role for analyzing and be aware of your process? I hope that we can get some ideas about it. Yeah. Okay, it's very interesting. I will come back to the point again. So let's come to another ones. Okay. So in today's digital era, I think that we are step to the new time where for example, our annual research work transformed this landscape, introducing the electronic database, collaborative platforms, and the power visualization software. And this is a new way for innovations where we can collaborate with the different kind of the interdisciplinary dialogue and the created ecosystem where our knowledge is shared and more openly than even before. So another point about today's topic, it's about the process for determining a research and topic and tools. As you see, just I here mentioned about the first point, it's identify your research area. It's really very important. It was really great mentioned by Dr. Marva. She said, accordingly to this topic, more about it, but I would like briefly add more about the first part. It means just here in the first one, we need to reflect in our field prior knowledge and the current challenges. For another ones, it's how considered the gap is existing in literature or pressing questions in our discipline. Another point, conduct the preliminary literature review. Here, just we try to explore academic papers, books, and online resources to understand the trends and debates. Define research. It also plays the huge role. Why? Because we need to clearly state what you want to discover or solve. And fourth is about determine methodology and the data need objectives. Here, just we need to decide which method should we use. A mixed method, qualitative or quantitative. Another point about it is that just we need to identify the type of the data It may be required by the text, numbers, and so many different features accordingly about it. First one, identify suitable AI and digital tools. Here, just I will clarify the point, which tools should we use for getting new data or to get somehow the recommendation about our research. So, and six is about the evaluate feasibility. Here, just I try to consider the access to data and technical skills, time, and resources. And the last one about just how can we make it concise and researchable. Ensure it aligns with our objectives and selected tools. All right. Before starting talk about research, we need to analyze this one. Just I give the definition of these ones. We need to be aware of the meaning of this content. It means just the process of examining the interpreting and making sense of data, answer research question, and so many test hypotheses accordingly about it. Just here, I will discover the ways how we need to analyze the process. And I have noticed just it includes in itself 6 steps. The first is about the data preparation. Here, just we need to clean and organize raw data, remove duplicate, correct errors, and transform data into a usable format for analysis. Another one about the explanation and visualization. Here, just we need to explore the trends, correlations, and using charts, graphs. Others one application of analytical methods. Here, just we include 2 methods: qualitative and quantitative. Quantitative, it means that where we try to recognize the statistical text, regression analysis, and predictive modeling. And qualitative about the thematic coding, content analysis, sentiment analysis. And here just AI can assist in the text mining and natural language processing or clustering. And interpretation is about the draw meaningful conclusion from results. Validation and verification. Here, just I try to emphasize about the cross verify from multiple methods to data sets if it's possible. And the reporting is here just try to present insights in a clear structure form, like table, graphs, as I mentioned before. Yes, again about the philosophy. This is the point how we in today's trends where we try to adopt AI and how it looks for today's era. And Jeremy Rabbit said this activity of modern natural science has transformed our knowledge and control of the world about us. But in the process, it also transformed itself. It has created problems and natural science alone cannot solve. This is a good seed for having the good analysis for our next step and how we needed to do this step. Some kind of the philosophy question. So, and let's come to point about the AI. What tools should we use for touching our goal? Here, just I talked about the key strategies, and the first tool is the Semantic Scholar in the LSE. This is ones we use for natural language processing to understand our research question and find papers that's conceptually similar, even if they don't contain your exact keywords. And if just we try to looking for the processes that just finding more, and after that we need to identify, is it the correct way where I try to apply my topic in today's era, in the digital era. And I'd like to give them more about LSE. This is a good platform where you can find multiple research papers and more than 200 plus. And it also offers the summarize and data extraction to give you a quick overview. And in all the platforms, just you needed to sign up and give somehow the interval where you use free, and after that you needed to pay some the given payment. And that is why Elicit is a good platform. Here just I try to introduce how does it work. And we use this Elicit for a simple search bar that allow you ask question naturally, and crucially it share a concise way that gives you immediate feel for where you may want to explore the next. And here the example about it, you can use this screenshot about it. It depends on your prompt, how you correctly put your prompt accordingly to your topic. So another point is that what is the best? Why should I use Elicit? Why not it's another platform? As I mentioned before, just 200 million academic papers which can be searched using natural language. This is a really great opportunity for us while we're talking about the past and the present. And this kind of the tool try to expand our vision, not only our vision as a researcher, but also the vision of our students who try to write this research work beyond the curriculum. Another ones about the citation and the literature in other platform, they are connected papers and the lit maps. You have noticed the logos of these ones. They also try to create interactive visualization of your research paper and try to connect through those citations. At the same time, it try to evaluate of your topic, find new and relevant papers and other ones. So come to other point is that yes, I would like to identify this part, just how does it work. Of course, this is also as you see here, just I have given the picture, and this lit maps, find the papers according to your topic, and use this citation network. Very simple way for research or search somehow this selective articles. And as I said before, this is a great way for research maps. And make it easy to find important papers on your topic as well. Another one, tools about the summarization tools. Just we needed, we give the introduction, methodology, quantitative mixture, as I was mentioned my colleague beforehand. And right now we're coming to our conclusion point. And this conclusion point is also can given by these tools like Scholarly and Consensus, where you can quickly summarize the length research paper and extracting key findings, methodologies, and conclusion. And this is a really great way tools for not for cheating, just for evoking you without anyone else. This is a kind of the self-improvement in this field by the academical findings. In today's era, just I talk with many researchers, tutors, and mentors, and all the same, just it's very easy because it's a tool, it's free, kind of free, and it provides with your let's say so, just effective feedbacks. Just you don't need it to wait more, but you need to identify this point. Just you need to combine with the different kind of research workers, but try to use these tools with the given goal. Just not try to expand your intention accordingly. Just okay, I get summarized, yes, I will put into my paper, and that's all. No, right now time is different, and that is why this is a kind of a tool. AI, it's a tool. It's also give the good kind of the ways for achieving new goals accordingly from the contemporary researchers and thinkers, where we can particularly in the context of why use the digital tools. So another point is that just the benefit for users. It's about the consensus. Yes, users of consensus can benefit from the consensus because it accelerates the research process by delivering different kind of the relevant summaries, saving your valuable time and effort. At the same time, this platform provides users with access to high quality research literature and ensuring that the scholarly invaders are supported by reliable and comprehensive information. Another point about it, yeah, about the data collection. But beforehand, I'd like to mention something I have written on my paper. Just I would like to say, what is the difference between today's era and the past. Just from the earliest libraries in the handwritten manuscript to today's intelligent algorithms, the pursuit of the knowledge has always been shaped by the tools available to researchers. In the past, inquiry relied on slow manual searches, meticulous note taking, and limited access to data, often restricting the pace of the discovery. And here about the data collection analysis, we needed to collect our data, and accordingly, we divide it into two parts, qualitative and quantitative. As you see, just I talked about the quantitative and qualitative ones. AI can assist. Yeah, I'm sorry. Yes, can assist by performing sentiment analysis of text data. For example, interview, social media posts. This is the qualitative ones. Quantitative ones, it's about just how this kind of the tools provide with the advanced statistical analysis capabilities. Can also perform as the predictive analytics and forecasting trends and outcomes based on historical data. Another ones about academic writing ones. It's really play important role for those one who has some problem about the writing ones. Just English is not like the first language. Here, just we try to use this kind of the AI patterns like Grammarly, Pepperpel. I have given the logos. Please pay attention to this detail, and this is really very important because right now, yeah, okay, we try to manage accordingly to this AI powered assistance, writing assistance. At the same time, citation and references also managed by these tools like Zotero and Mendeley, where we try to collect and organize citing process accordingly to the given ones. This, right now, the popular ones, EPL, MLA in Chicago. And this is a way we try to create our references according to citation bibliographies in various styles. So exactly, just all the tutors and the mentors talk about the ethical and the practical considerations. It's plays the crucial role for fact checking. Here, just we need also provide ourselves with this kind of the policy where we try to verify information provided by AI tools. And another one's about be aware of that AI tools can inherit and predicted by the present in their training data. And also, its effect on our research result and analysis. It's so important to evaluate all outputs. And that is why this kind of the patterns of which one I mentioned before, this is the real ones which one provide with the concrete information, which one is really very important for getting more data according to our topic. In conclusion, is that just that the artificial intelligence is a digital proof and it is reshaping how researchers conduct, and share, and to support the scientific writing and collaborative work. Collaborative work, it's my favorite ones because, while we have a good collaboration, we try to get more than we do it by ourselves. And this kind of the technology, which one given before, increase efficiency in the broaden access to the knowledge. And my recommendation to all of you is that just try to read more abstracts, try to have this kind of the habit for having the great analytical vision, and try to work with data more. And in this case, you will get more information about your data. Just you don't have any kind of the barrier, and you will overcome to this barrier. But AI tools, it's a good helper for you. Just to try to get concrete information. Just not more, but which one you are needed to focus on. And my references about it, just to try to use the tools and enhancing outputs, and so many ones like this one. And if you would like to contact with me, get in touch with me. This is my LinkedIn profile. You will visit my profile, and they also get more information about my different ways, especially in the professional development. And thank you very much for sharing this kind of the idea with all of you. Yes, Miss Maria, I have finished.
So much, Wahid. We really appreciate your session. I
Thank
think
you.
open for any questions, if attendees have any questions. And before we wrap up the session, you can write the questions in the chat box, or you can just open your mic and communicate with Mr. Wahid directly. All right. Yes, Mr. Ferouz, do you want to ask any question? Please go ahead.
Sure, absolutely. Thank you very much. Am I audible?
Yes, you are.
Yes,
Welcome.
audible. You're very welcome.
Wonderful. Okay. Jawahir, you should tell the audience that your name means diamond. Am I right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yes. Miss Diamond. That was a brilliant presentation of yours. My question is, I think probably in the tongues of all those people in the house, how credible and how correct are those AI detecting tools nowadays? Because these days, a lot of research is carried out in line with AI tools and a human effort. When the human effort and AI is combined, I'm just curious how to detect which is what, which is human effort and which is AI powered or AI generated research. So I want to see the fine line in between those two. Is my question clear?
Yes, it's clear for me. Thank you very much for your question. It's absolutely a relevant topic here. Just how we identify the paper was given by the human and the AI. We have some keywords which one they use, and you will put the prompt to ChatGPT keywords of the paper which one they given by AI. They try to give the keywords, and according to the 100 keywords, which is reflect that this is given not by the human, and accordingly to this result, you will get the difference between the this work. And I got it from the Karabakh University. I also asked some mentor about it. It's really very interesting ones because how we need to identify. And he said, just the AI tried to use about the 100 plus a bit keywords, and that is why they will identify. Okay, it was given by AI, not by the human. That's so easy. It's kind of the coding,
Thank you.
It's kind of the coding, yeah. It's really kind of the great risk. But if you are, let's say, working with the staff, in any staff, just accordingly for getting to know, okay, is it written by you or by AI? In this case, you will put some questions, all right, according to this paper, if you are quite professional in this field. if it's really familiar to you. And you know, in today's era, just any kind of the AI try to write the papers in the different academic tone. It depends on your prompt, how you correctly put it, and that is why it's kind of the complicated ones. Thank you, Jan.
My pleasure. Thank you.
Okay, so we have another question, which is from Hamidi.
Yes, can I read it aloud?
Yes, you can.
Yeah, please.
Well, thank you very much indeed for your presentation. Actually, no one can deny the importance of AI in education and in research. My question is, isn't there a risk of AI plagiarism? It may cause problems to researchers. Actually, I think if you set AI to revise your work, this work will automatically be AI's, not yours. Thanks very much.
Yes, thank you for this great statement. Absolutely, I strongly agree with you. And you know, I'd like to mention this kind of the idea that you know, AI it's a good tool for our students for trying to write any research work. And right now we also have any problem, you know, kind of the gaps between the present and the past. Right now, the structures also try to transform another structure. That is why this is a great question. Of course, for developing, for cheating ways, in if you are mentioned in this part, I strongly agree with you. But you know, but we need to identify these ones. Just we use it just for giving the good intro for our students, for someone who tries to write. Maybe someone don't have this kind of the opportunity for having the supervisor in so many different ways, some kind of the lack of the data from libraries. You know, these facts nobody says, unfortunately, but everybody says, okay, AI is a bad. All right, just it's like a tool. For example, I know some people around me, some students, some junior students, you know, and they ask me, okay, teacher, how should I write? How should I reshape my idea accordingly to the given topic, but in academic way? You know, this is a really great question, and that is why we need to identify this point that that we how we use it, what is the balance, and in this case we will find out more about it. And I talked with the great let's say ITEFL head, and he said me, Jawahir, you know, just it's really very very bad for our future, and everybody knows. But from the another ones, just we shouldn't judge very strictly this point, and that is why there are many reasons. That's why you know just how many investigation was given to the investment and try to promote AI, and each year this kind of the amount increased, and it because it kind of the really kind of the problem, but it's a kind of the innovative step for the future. It's kind of the complicated ones as well. I hope just my reply according to your question. Let's say so.
Yes, thank you, Jawahir.
Will be given correctly.
Yeah, you're making sense here because people just have the wrong perception about AI. It's the matter of just aiding you to streamline your thoughts in research, not 100% reliance on it. I think that's what your message is as well. It just helps you to kickstart, streamline things. And of course, then you have your books, you have your literature that we cannot throw out of the window. We really have to go back and refer to and confirm the claims the AI has given us. But you know, it saves hours and hours of thinking. Where should I start? Where should I stop? What is the gap? So I think that fills in. Thank you so much. The tools you have showed today are really interesting. I've also used Scholarly. Scholarly is very effective. It saves hours and hours of time of summarizing the literature and everything. And it's just a start. It is not a full thing. Of course, if you're doing a PhD or you're doing a thesis or a study, it just gives your thoughts a channel, isn't it?
Absolutely, yes, absolutely. As it was given, the Dr. Marva, she said just the integration, integration. This is a keyword.
Yeah.
Integration, just right now, what is the problem? The problem is that the lack of the critical thinking. It's a kind of the problem right now, But if we integrate both of them, we will get more. But but we should know the ways how to do it. This is the question.
Exactly. Perfect. Everything requires proper channel, proper way of doing things. Perfect. Thank you so much. I think we're running out of time today now for your session.
Yeah.
And but we really appreciate you coming and joining us today, and we hope to see you in your future events as well. If I can request rest of the attendees to open their videos, and we can have a group photograph together, and then we will say goodbye to each other. So if you could all open up your cameras, and I will take a group photograph. It was a very enlightening session, and today was one of our first sessions, and we will have it every month. So please keep a check on your chat box, your inbox, not your chat box. We will be sending regular sessions. The next one is also in October, and we have 4 speakers in the October session. So, okay. Manar, would you like to open or you okay? I can see most of you. Thank you. All right. Cheese, everybody. Say cheese. Okay. There you go. Thank you. Thank you so much. It was a pleasure to have you all today, and we hope to